Hey everyone, it's Katie, and I'm here today to do the TMI Book Tag. Another chance to get to know a bit more about me, and so here we go. Number 1. What fictional character has the best style? The Fool from the Realm of the Elderlings has the absolute best style. No matter where he travels to, he always knows how he can dress so he can blend in and get to know people and get to know their secrets. And he's just got the best eye for fashion. 2. Your book girlfriend, boyfriend, crush. This one was a little bit hard for me. My book boyfriend will probably be either Aragorn from Lord of the Rings or Cedric from Harry Potter because of their personality and their kind hearts, their just everything. I love them. But for girlfriend, I would either pick Arwen or Éowyn from Lord of the Rings because they're both gorgeous, they're both powerful in their own way, they can stand up for themselves. And yes, anyway. 3. Ever loved a character but then started to hate them? I thought long and hard about this question, and I can't really think of one character that I loved but then started to hate. I go through phases with a lot of different characters where I get irritated with them or annoyed at them, but I don't really hate characters. It's very uncommon. 4. Biggest, longest book on your shelf. That is probably a tie between some of the editions of Lord of the Rings that we have, where they're like one book of all of them, which is the way it's supposed to be, but also the autobiography of Mark Twain. Those are probably both the biggest, largest book. And that also applies to the heaviest book question, which is number 6. So I'll probably just skip that one because they all apply. Number 5. Do you have any book posters? I do have book posters. I have an Alice in Wonderland book poster upstairs, and I have some Harry Potter ones somewhere, and I have tons of Lord of the Rings posters. 7. Do you have any book-themed jewelry? Yes. I have a time turner for Harry Potter, and my mom, she shared with me. She has the One Ring, Nenya, which is Galadriel's ring that she wears, and she has the Ebon Star that Arwen wears. 8. Book OTP. I have more than one OTP because I'm part of many book fandoms, so I'm going to give you more than one. But my first one would be Harry and Cedric from Harry Potter because they're adorable and I love everything about them. Just the idea of them is perfect. Also, Ron and Hermione. I can't help but love them. The Fitz and the Fool from the Realm of the Elderlings. They're perfect in every way, and I don't want to spoil anymore, so I won't say anything else. But if you want to know more about why they are my OTP, I highly recommend reading that series. Which brings me to question 9. Favorite book series. I have a lot of book series that I really enjoy, but for brevity's sake and currentness, like as of right now, I would say my favorite book series is The Realm of the Elderlings by Robin Hobb, and I would recommend. Favorite book to movie soundtrack. Ooh, that's hard. I'm gonna probably say Lord of the Rings because that soundtrack is incredibly beautiful, and it's one of those that you can listen to the soundtrack and still get the essence of the story by listening to it without having seen the movie. I'm gonna go with the Lord of the Rings. 11. A book story you miss, wish would continue. I definitely miss Harry Potter in a lot of different ways. I miss the hype and the excitement you get when a new book is going to come out. But I definitely miss new Harry Potters coming out. That was a really, really big part of my life as a kid. 12. Favorite standalone. Currently, I'm going to say The Historian by Elizabeth Kostova. Incredible research that went into it. Like, it's a historical account kind of Dracula. So it's like taking the Dracula myth, but also combining it with Vlad the Impaler and in kind of putting it in, I think it's like the 80s in Europe, but it's like 3 separate storylines detailing. It's a really wild tale, and it hooked me. I couldn't talk about anything or read anything for like a month afterwards because it was still absorbing everything, and it really touched me, and I love that book. So I'm gonna say that for right now. 13. Since when do you read books? I'm gonna assume that this means when did I start reading, and I started reading books when I was about 4. Whether it was, with my parents or on my own, I kind of started at an early, small age. 14. Which Hogwarts house are you in? This is arguably one of my biggest dilemmas. I am the epitome of a hat stall. Every quiz I take, I am between a Hufflepuff and a Ravenclaw. Exactly. Like 50, like 7. I always get a hat stall. So I'm one of the two. No one can agree on which house I fit in. And I see myself in both equally, so that's hard because, it's like, it's up to us, we can decide. I cannot decide. And even Pottermore, like I've taken that, I have multiple accounts of that. It's either Hufflepuff or Ravenclaw. I was in Gryffindor once, but I don't agree with that. I can tell you I am for sure not a Gryffindor. Slytherin, not really. I'm not that ambitious, but Hufflepuff, Ravenclaw. So I'm just going with Ravenpuff for now. I don't know. Maybe one of you could help me decide. 15. Quality you look for in a book. This is an interesting question. Not only do I look for quality in writing as well as plot and characterization, but I also look at how emotionally invested I get. So how much do I want to keep reading? How affected am I by what's happening in the book? So if you can get me to cry or get me to forget about the world that I'm living in any capacity, or if I think about the book once I've walked away from it for a long period of time, like that's the kind of quality I look for. How immersed am I in the world? Writing style is secondary. Characterization and plot go hand in hand for me. If characterization isn't very good, or if I'm not excited about the character I'm reading, like that'll be harder for me to get through. Whereas if the plot is boring, then I probably will put the book down or just complain the entire time I'm reading it. Because I'm a completionist at heart. I have to finish what I've started. It's terrible. But anyway, 16. Favorite book quote. This is really hard for me. This journal is full of quotes that I like, whether it's from movies or books or TV shows. So I'm going to read you my, top 2 favorite quotes. One is from Julius Caesar by William Shakespeare, because I do love poetry and I do love Shakespeare. So here we go. It's, "Cowards die many times before their deaths. The valiant never taste death but once." So that's one of them. And then the other one is from The Fool's Errand by Robin Hobb, and it's this. "History is no more fixed and dead than the future. The past is no further away than the last breath you took." you know, everyone interprets them differently. They impact you in different ways. They get emotional responses from you. So, I mean, I love words. I studied Latin and several other languages, and I love what words can do, how they express feeling, and I think that's part of the reason I like to read so much, because it's so cool that words can have such an effect and impact on a person. So I think that's really cool. Number 17, favorite author. I have multiple favorite authors depending on several factors. So I'm just going to give you a list. So of course I love J.K. Rowling. She's impacted me in so many ways. I also love Robin Hobb, as I've said so many times before. J.R.R. Tolkien is brilliant, and it could be argued that if it wasn't for him and his worlds, I wouldn't be where I am today. And finally, 18, favorite book cover. That's really hard because there's so many gorgeous books. There are so many beautiful books out there, and so I don't know if I could just pick one. Obviously, I love the Harry Potter books. My favorite book cover for Harry Potter is probably The Order of the Phoenix. That's arguably my favorite Harry Potter book for so many reasons, but I also love The Lord of the Rings and the Silmarillion. The illustrated versions are gorgeous, and as weird as this might sound, I saw the cover for Assassin's Fate, which I'm nowhere near getting to read. The British version, the UK version, is incredible. I loved it when I saw it. I took a picture of it and I have it on my phone. So I mean, I just love that color and the art on it. So art on books, it's hard to just pick a favorite book cover. I can't do it. 19, action or romance. I kind of like both action and romance. If I had to pick one over the other, I might go with action, but that's hard for me to say because both of them are important to me. I love a good romance. I won't just read straight up romance stories though. I'm very, very picky with them. I can't read them. But action, I'll go for more. Like, I love thrillers, and when I'm reading a fantasy book, if there's action in it, I will go for it. So I probably pick action over romance, even though I like both together. 20. Where do you go when a sad moment happens? I don't really go anywhere. I'm usually in my room when I'm reading, usually in my room when I'm reading. So, like, if I can cry in peace. But I usually, if I have a friend who has read the same book as that I'm reading, then I will usually text them or scream at them about it or in some variation. But yeah, I don't really go anywhere. 21. How long do you need to finish a book? It varies. I can go anywhere from 4 days to a month. Like, so I mean, it depends on how much time I have, how much I am enjoying the book, and how long or short it is. 22. How long is your mourning period? It depends, once again. Sometimes I'll just mourn for like an hour or two, and then I can go, or sometimes I'll be like, okay, I have to put this down. I can't read any further for another day or two. Then if I finish the book and it like emotionally scarred me in some way, I might just switch genres for a while and I won't pick up that genre again for a couple weeks or a month. Or I might just have to stop reading completely. So the longest 23, least favorite book. of Love and Other Demons. I hated that book. It's really disturbing. I had to read it for school, and like I still think about it, but I was completely disgusted that I had to read it. Basically, the premise is like this 12-year-old girl gets bitten by a rabid dog and has to go to a convent. She gets exercised every day by a priest he's like 36, he's like madly in love with her. They have like passionate sex, like 2 chapters. It goes into great graphic detail, and then like she dies, he can't handle himself, and he goes to a convent. It's like awful. 24, turn on in a character. I love wittiness and snark and humor. Those are typically the things I really love in characters. 25, turn off in a character. I hate arrogance. Like, not confidence, but arrogance. Like, I'm the greatest at everything. Nothing will get me down. Blah, blah, blah. No. It makes me just want to throw you off a building repeatedly. But anyway, that's all I've got for you today. If you would like, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and follow me on any of my social medias, links that I posted below, and I will, again with another video again soon. Bye!